Stress is a normal part of life, but how you respond to it is either going to determine whether it controls you or you grow through it. My dream woman grows through adversity, grows through obstacles. What about yourself? What would you say for yourself? So here are a few practices that are going to help manage your stress while nurturing your body, mind, and soul. My girls check in weekly, and one of my girls had asked this question: what do I do for stress management and self-care? Everything I told her is what I'm going to tell you. Starting off with tip number one: immediately when I'm feeling off, immediately when I feel like I'm about to burn out, I don't wait to burn out. I don't wait to feel overwhelmed. I just notice when I'm on the verge of feeling anxious that I'm feeling off. I start to feel really unmotivated. I have to start with doing this one thing, and it's going to be a digital detox. I have no problem stepping away from social media or other apps. I will delete any apps off my phone, and I don't give myself a time frame. I work on myself while I'm taking that break. When I notice I'm feeling off, that is when I protect my mental space and what I'm consuming, what I'm giving my time to. Immediately unplugging is going to give your mind room to unplug and reset. And so currently right now, I am not on social media, only on YouTube. Anything I watch on YouTube, I'm learning, but I don't consume a lot of social media. I don't scroll too often. I just do what I gotta do and I'm off. A lot of women are waking up to their phone or going to bed with their phone or spending any extra time scrolling. When you know that you're over consuming and overly stimulated, you need to take a reset and recharge. Gaining self-control and discipline around gadgets and social media that is not going anywhere is so pivotal for your overall health. If you know that this is taking away from your mental health, then definitely take a digital detox. Tip number two, my top 3 things would be deep breathing, prayer, and practicing gratitude to calm myself down. I take time in assessing and reflecting on why I have these emotions, what is going on, what is stressing me out. I rather become aware of what's going on to help me understand my emotions rather than avoiding them. A lot of the times when you are running away from your emotions, you tend to self-sabotage. You tend to sleep in or use sleep as a coping mechanism to avoid the situation or the trauma or your emotions. Sometimes you also will catch yourself scrolling for hours instead of dealing with the actual problem or dealing with something that needs to be dealt with. For the last 2 years, as I've been working on my relationship with God, I've also turned to scripture. This is going to be so important because wisdom is found in the Bible through God's words and through a lot of his disciples. The Bible is the way to life. When I go through the Bible and I read God's word, and I just feel reminded that it always reassures me that God has already worked everything out. So I have no reason to worry, but to walk by faith instead. God has already worked it out. And once I remind myself, I know many of you guys can relate when I say, once you've sat down and you've read a few scriptures, you feel more at ease knowing that God always sticks to his word. God always shows up and has already worked it out for you. He's building you in the process. He's waiting on you to have faith, but it always works out for your good, even in the moment when it's so hard. Have you ever been in like hard seasons or obstacles where you're like, I don't even know how I'm gonna make it out of this? And then a year later, you're reflecting back and you're like, wow, I made it out of that. It's because God had already had your destiny written, right? Our life has already written. God knows our troubles. God knows our struggles. God knows the temptations that we suffer from. God knows absolutely everything before we even come to him about it. He just wants you to go through the words so that his words go through the law. The Bible is the way to life, and that always gets me back to being centered and balanced. Another tip here, I would rather journal than to bring my emotions and my problems to put it on others. I've learned the hard way from oversharing with past relationships with girlfriends I thought would be my friends today. But you know what? It's so much more sacred to just write out what is going on in your life, write it out, journal about it, and reflect on it. Pray about it as well. Because when you come back to that, you'll be able to see, was it really worth the stress? Was it really worth the headache or the drama or the arguments? Was it really worth it? Or were you acting out of character, or were you just overly emotional about something? Was it really necessary? Is it going to matter a year from now? Is it worth gossiping about or sharing about? Not everything you go through is worth sharing to somebody else. Sometimes you just got to bring it to God, or just keep it between you and your journal. And lastly, in this category, mindfulness, deep breathing, even if it's for 5 minutes, makes a huge difference to just calming down your nervous system and providing way more clarity rather than acting out of emotion. Even 5 minutes of stillness can reset your nervous system. I really want you to pay attention to your emotions. Are you letting them control you? Or are you looking to grow through your emotions, grow through the obstacles or the adversity or the challenges? I want you to speak life over your life. Speak truth and encouragement as you would for someone else. You give everyone else good advice. It's time to give yourself encouraging advice. Stress at times is going to feel really loud, but you can still be in control of the next step, of the next direction that you take, and how you decide to deal with it in a healthy manner. Tip number 3, how to manage your stress and prioritize your self-care. How about some lifestyle habits? Part of adulting is adding in creative outlets like cooking, dance lessons, swimming lessons, anything that is going to shift your focus and express your emotions, release your emotions. For me, one of my favorite hobbies that turned into a priority is going to the gym. I've also taken some dance classes here and there. I've done cycle spin classes here and there. I do a lot of things that just make me come alive. So if I'm having an off day or an off week, I'm like, let me challenge myself. Let me go and do something. Maybe it's an artsy event, creating. I love that. Just let your emotions flow. Even if you have to set up a little arts and craft for yourself at home and have a nice paint night with yourself, cook yourself a nice meal without wine or drinks, maybe just some water or EAAs, just a nice cooked meal, and just sit down and paint. Get the music playing, romanticize your life, romanticize the moment. I'm sure you'll start to feel better. Also, adding in tea rituals. So a few times a week in the evening, I will make myself a nice cup of tea. And I was never a tea girl. It's very soothing. It's very calming and soft for the soul. When you're feeling burnt out or overwhelmed, or just feeling like the pressure is on you, how about just taking some time in the evening to unwind and de-stress by making yourself something hot, quality meal with a nice cup of tea, and just enjoy it, sip it softly. There's chamomile, there's peppermint, there's many other teas that are very soothing to the body. And lastly, in this category, boundaries are going to be so necessary that when you're not feeling your best, you say no to anything that's going to drain you. Fill your cup, and you don't need to take people with you when you're looking to fill your cup. Take moments with yourself to assess how you're feeling and what you need, and then go about it. But you don't need to put your emotions, your feelings right now on other people. It's important to learn how to deal with how you are feeling without getting the opinion or reassurance from other people, the comfort from other people. Learn how to deal with your own stresses and your emotions. And trust me, you will be a people's magnet because you know how to fill your own cup. Not saying that you cannot go to people for comfort, but don't make it a thing where you rely on people every time you're going through a hard season. Tip number 4 for stress management and self-care, indulging in restorative care. One thing I will definitely do when my body is just feeling like it's tense and things are built up and I need a good release, baby, instead of calling that man, I go and book myself a massage. I need a massage. I need my nails done, my feet done. I just need to be pampered. And I don't mean pampered by a man. I like to pamper myself. myself. And that was another thing. When I was dating, I needed to make sure that my man knew how to pamper himself, I knew how to pamper myself, and we know how to pamper each other. It's so important that you know how to take care of yourself without relying on somebody to do it for you. It's so nice when someone surprises you with those things, but they're not always going to be able to read how you're feeling. And you don't want to put all that pressure on them. Book the massage, get your nails done. It doesn't have to be fake nails. You can do real nails, or you can set up a DIY at home. But personally, I want somebody to do it for me. Please do my nails, do my toes, give me a massage, release my muscles, release the stress. I even book into day spas. On your day off, I know there's a day spa in your city. Check it out. I will book into a day spa, go and sit in the steam room, the sauna, the hot tub, the cold plunge, and just decompress. Trust me, instead of self-sabotaging, be kinder to yourself. Even if it's a hot steam shower and after that you get out of the shower and you oil yourself down, or maybe you take a bath, an Epsom salt bath, you light some candles, some music, and you just like calm your nervous system. This is going to help you to manage your stress. Babe, this is so important when it comes to self-care. Simple pampering is not luxury. It's maintenance for your body and your spirit. Tip number 5 when it comes to stress management and self-care: slow, mindful experiences. One thing I'm gonna do is get dressed up, get myself feeling real nice and beautiful, and go to a restaurant. Even if it's by myself, I thoroughly enjoy going to restaurants by myself. Old Jen, not so much. It took time to build a confidence, but over time, if you can spend more time in solitude every now and then doing a few things by yourself, then you won't rely on company so much. So whether I'm going out with my friends or my fiance or myself, I love taking some time to get dressed up and go to my favorite restaurant. I'm going to a fine dining restaurant with a nice juicy steak and a nice delicious moist dessert menu. That is what I'm gonna do. I'm not going to self-sabotage ordering takeout because I'm not in the mood. I'm not gonna be eating a bunch of snacks either. No, I am going to look at my schedule and see when I can fit in a date, whether it's a lunch date, a brunch date, a dinner date during the week or on the weekend. Yes, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna savor every bite. We're gonna be present. We're not gonna be on our phone. I'm going to be present, whether it's with myself or the people that I love. And I'm just going to give them my energy and they're going to give me theirs. It's a two-way street. I want you to eat slowly, savor the bites, just be present to enjoy the actual moment instead of rushing through it. Life can feel like there's a lot going on, but it is so important that when you are spending your hard-earned money on food, it shouldn't be just takeout because you were in a rush or because you were unprepared. You should spend time getting dressed up, putting a nice outfit on, calling up your girlfriend or man, fiance, husband, your mother. Take time to just sit and enjoy the food in the moment and eat slowly like a lady. Take in the flavors and don't rush the moment, especially when life already feels pretty rushed and heavy. Tip number 6, ladies, create a space of cleanliness. Now, when my space is clean, and it's always clean, I'm not even gonna label myself as OCD. I just grew up with these habits to clean up after myself. And so I even made sure I pressed my man. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna be picking up after you. When your space is just a mess and your life is a mess and just things are piling on, how do you expect to feel good? Of course, your stress level is going to be through the roof. And so I would highly suggest cleaning up and organizing your environment, decluttering your drawers, your closets, your entire environment. And this is going to make you feel so much better. I find cleaning up, doing my laundry, I have a weekly routine of doing the laundry, vacuuming, mopping, and I thoroughly enjoy this. I love my space being clean. I love when it smells good. I buy nice candles that are handmade with minimum toxins in it, and I feel really good. My space is clean. I can operate even though I may be close to feeling overwhelmed or burnt out. Your space should feel like a safe space. Your home should feel like a sacred space to you. Why would you want it to feel or look like a shit box? A tidy space is going to create new energy and it's going to clear your mind. Tip number 7, as we get ready to go to the gym, your body and movement need to be a priority, especially for stress management and self-care. Move your body, whether it's going to yoga, going for a walk, going for a run, going to a spin class, a circuit class, going to the gym. This is going to put you in a better mood. This is going to lift your mood. No one ever regrets a workout. All my girls, even if you start and stop or you take a week off, you start to crave that feeling, even if your mind is like, no, I'm too tired. Next month, you are craving that feeling because you're like, man, I actually felt so good. Even if you were sore, you're like, oh, I just feel so good and tighter in my body. You're feeling good, the energy, you're just like, wow, my glutes, everything feels pumped and boosted. A good workout, you moving your body is always going to reset the tone, is always going to uplift your mood. Stretching is also so important because it's going to release tension, especially in your shoulders, your hips, your knees. My girls, they're office girls. A lot of the girls that I work with, they're office girls. So a lot of them spend a lot of time at the desk, right? They're hunched more forward because they're typing. And oh my goodness, I'll be like, girl, let's stretch out your shoulders. Let's make sure you're stretching in the morning, stretching throughout the day. You're gonna feel so good when you are releasing your body. This is the maintenance that should be done in between your massage. Don't just be going for these massages, lymphatic massages, any kind of massage. You need to be doing the maintenance work in between. You can get a foam roller, you can get a massage ball. Really get into your muscles, stretch your muscles. Be grateful that you can even move your body, and you want to make sure that you're not getting stiff. And lastly, in this category, sunlight and fresh air. Sunlight is a natural stress reliever. You feel good when you got your podcast going and you're going for a walk and you're letting the fresh air come on your skin. You feel really good. Do more of that. The winter season is coming up, but our city is always so sunny. So if it's not too cold and you can bundle up, get outside, get moving, be outside, even if it's for a walk. You don't always have to grab a coffee or a latte, guys, or a matcha latte, but just go drink your water, meditate. Sometimes you can just walk in silence, speak to the Lord, and you will feel so good. You will also gain so much more clarity. When I go for walks, especially straight away in the morning, the minute I rise, after my devotionals in the morning, my mind expands. I get a lot of my topics off the top just from going for that walk. So for anyone that's looking to create videos and show up online, you got to move your body and you'll just see a lot of things processing, and you'll just see a lot of topics come to mind. And lastly here for number 8, rest and recovery. Sleep is going to feel heavier on you when you are sleep deprived. A lot of y'all are staying up late scrolling or watching your favorite TV shows, and you should be minding your business. Selfish with your bedtime, selfish with your sleep. So I need you to prioritize your sleep. It's a non-negotiable because you want to wake up beautiful. Imagine you're gaining bags under your eyes, you're feeling tired and just burnt out because you wasted 30 minutes to 2 hours scrolling either before bed or even when you woke up. The internet isn't going anywhere. No one's checking for you. You're checking for people. You need to mind your business and just go to bed. You truly need a consistent sleep routine. As adults, this is a part of adulting. Let's make it a non-negotiable that we are strict with our priorities and not so lenient on things that are actually taking away from your success. So I want you to unplug 30 to 60 minutes before bed, removing all devices, no TV, no screens, period. Maybe winding down like what I said before with the tea, soft music, or white noise. There's podcasts that you can go to bed listening to without looking at the screen. Something that's soothing and calming. No chaos, no drama, no comparing yourself. Just ease your mind. Just be grateful and just go to bed. Get into a sleep routine. I take magnesium and zinc. Some people take melatonin, but honestly, you don't want to get used to melatonin. Some people also smoke to go to bed. You have to assess why you're having a hard time going to bed. And honestly, y'all, you should just fast for God. You should just fast for the betterment of a relationship with God, to hear you and answer your cries. If you feel like you're struggling with sleeping, you're struggling with an addiction, you're struggling with things that you've tried to wean off of before, then it's really important to talk to God about it. And how do you get God's attention even faster? Is by fasting for a purpose. And you do not need to announce when you're fasting to anyone, but fasting to hear from God, fasting for clarity, fasting so God can cleanse you of what you're struggling with. And it may not happen in a day, it may need a few cycles, but fasting is going to help for God. I would highly recommend doing your own research when it comes to the biblical fast, okay? Not fasting for weight loss, but fasting for God for a purpose. Bringing your problems and your stress and things that you have been dealing with, your baggage, your pain, your trauma, to God, so he can help you, so he can release them for you, so you can feel a lot lighter. And lastly, rest days are so important. I tell my girls, you gotta schedule in rest periods where, again, you may have to take a break from the world and just chill with yourself, take a nap, go out to eat by yourself, go to a coffee shop and just chill and just take in your scenery, people watch, be out there in nature. Just rest. Whatever rest may look like for you, but most times rest may look like scrolling. Rest may look like coming home and watching a series, and then you're up till 11 when you need to be up at 5. No. When I know that I'm tired and I'm like, I just need to fill my cup, I take naps, I disappear, and I don't mind. I love disappearing from the world. Where is Shen? Yeah, off social media, filling my cup at the spa, looking good if you were to run into me, minding my business, eating quality food, learning a new recipe. Yes. Baking, making something nice to eat. I love food. I know I don't look like it, but my clients will tell you I love food. You just need to know how to eat it. So you need to stop eating like an elephant or a horse or a hamster, under eating or overindulging. Just no. Balance. Life is all about balance. Sometimes the best self-care is just slowing down. Life can get really hectic, and you need to learn how to manage your stress and not let it control you. You've been letting it control you for way too long. Imagine if life continues to get harder, where you're going to end up and how far you will stray from the dream woman that you're looking to become. So today is the day that you learn to put these tips into practice. Remember, stress is temporary. Your habits that you're building now is going to create a lasting trait of resilience because you've gotten through it. You trust in God. You have faith that he's going to get you through it. Imagine there's a mountain and the beauty is found at the top of the mountain. I'm sure you guys have been on a hike before, especially in Arizona. I've gone on a few. And when you look down, once you've gone up, you're like, wow, the beauty, right? So imagine how many of you guys are just stuck at the bottom of your stress, stuck at the bottom of your obstacle. And God is waiting for you to climb on up, to persevere, to add in, to tap into your resilience. But you keep letting this stress bring you back down. People bring you back down. Environments bring you back down. Stress is temporary, but the habits that you ingrain today that become a non-negotiable, they are going to be lasting for resilience. Each time you choose calm over chaos, you're choosing to build your strength for the future. I promise you that. Because old Shen 11 years ago, she had no idea she'd be this person today. So you're worth betting on, and God is worth having faith in. Also, while we're here, let me show you guys my faith board. My faith board, everything always works out for me. God has a vision for me. God guides my steps. Lord, prepare me for everything I prayed for. Because of your faith, it will happen. Matthew 9:29. God works even when we can't see the way. Don't you just love my faith board? Don't you just love it? Right in the center, it says faith. Hebrews 11:6. So I made 2 faith boards in my lifetime. I decided in January of 2024, when I was taking my new walk with God, that I was going to do a faith board instead of a vision board. I believe that you have to have faith before the vision. You have to trust that God has already worked it all out. You have to trust the steps. You have to trust those hard days that, yes, I can push through. Relying on God, asking Him, give me the strength. Please connect your will to my life. Let me see it. And at that point in my life, I'm running my business and I'm ready to start a YouTube channel now because one of my in-person clients had asked me, Paula, to start a channel. And I was like, you know what? I want to walk this journey with God because every other journey has just felt so much harder, so much. I felt alone and empty and unfulfilled. And you can still make a good amount of money and still feel empty. There are millionaires out there that still feel empty even with having millions. So many people are so superficial that they think that the minute that they get more money, yes, money can buy happiness, but at the same time, how you truly feel about your overall life, what you're doing with that money, what you're doing with yourself, how you fill yourself out, how you earn that money. And I believe that God wants to see His children prosper. God wants to see His children have the fruits of their labors and the desires of their hearts if it aligns with God's will for you. But God has better than what we want. God has better than what we want for ourselves. God knows us better than we know ourselves. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a faith board. And this is my second faith board. My first faith board is at my mom's house. And I carried it there last year. And then I made one this year and I made it really colorful. Ugh, it just makes me so happy. And when I'm doing my cardio or when I'm in my room, I look at it and I come back to this board and I even print out scriptures and I put it on it. And it just makes me feel back to center. God is doing wonders in my life and I'm sure He's doing wonders in yours. But nothing moves without God. Even in chaos, you will feel more at ease because God is going to work it out. And that is what some people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I feel like I'm overdue with going live. So I think we should go live and prepare a faith board, or at least chat. Let me know what you want to do. I'll see you guys in the next one or live.